Hey, I'm Rob Thomas, your Microsoft Enterprise Architect, and here today I'm going to talk about one of the most exciting product, the number one product that you're always going to use, which draws you to Office 365, and that is Microsoft Outlook. So today I'm going to cover Microsoft Outlook. I'm going to help you get started and really dig into its capabilities and features at a very high level. But today, we are sponsored by Enterprise Software Solution. So Enterprise Software Solution is a reseller of Office products, so Azure, Microsoft 365, Microsoft Dynamics, Microsoft Intune, Power BI, Windows servers, SharePoint, and a few other products. So definitely check out these guys out if you need help getting your Office 365 up and running. So basically, most people come to Office 365 because Office 365 is an email account. Right? So you're going to get this Microsoft Outlook email, which is your big thing that you need to get to be up and running. Now, we all know what it's like to be working with your free email account. So you have your old school, you're using like old school AOL, or you're using the free Microsoft Outlook, right? Are you using a Yahoo or any other free, free Gmail, any other free email account? You're using those items and you're getting some success. But one of the biggest problems is that you start sending emails and then all of a sudden you're not getting sales emails and it becomes a challenge. So this is why the beautiful power of using Office 365 and getting Outlook and getting that set up and getting that going to help you be super successful. So as you can see here, when you get into the environment, you're on active users, you get into your admin center, you want to make sure, I know we've already went over this, but just go over it one more time. Make sure you created your user account, right? This is not a shared user. It's an active user that you created. So you created here, the user created, and you assign this user a license. So this is going to be a Microsoft Office standard license, right? Or basic, but here I signed my standard license and then boom, I now have access to the mail account, right? So now with that done, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go to tools and basically let's get started, right? I'm going to get the account set up and I'm going to go here, click this button, click that, and then put in that email address. So or tomsec@glidecity.Microsoft or whatever your email address is. And just put it in there. And then next I'm gonna put the password and then boom, it's going to connect. And then I'm going to have it connect right there. So it's going to pop up. Now, I have a lot of accounts on here, so it's going to error out if I try to add a shared emails, but I'll cover that a little bit later. Now, once your account is set up and you're set to go, it'll pull all the emails that actually is happening on the server, and it's going to keep in sync with what's happening with the web app, which I'll cover last. Like this web app is in sync with your Outlook. So I'm going to basically just create an email. And I'm going to say, hey, I want to send an email to here. So I'll grab this, grab that, a little lazy. I don't want to, right? And then I'll say, oh, I already have it up. I'll say, boom, like that. Send an email out. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to log into this account, open up a new mail. Oh, I'm doing that a little early. Let me grab this email right there. Right. Look how it's green, right? So when you're on the same system, it'll say, oh, he's available, and it'll show it green, right? So I'm going to go in there. I'm going to click a new message. I'm going to here, test email 6. Just going to put that in there, and I'm going to send that email out, right? Now, boom, I just sent out an email, right? What if I clicked on another one here? Let's say I want to forward this email. Let's do some email forwarding, right? So I'm going to forward an email. Say test email right there. Yep. Let's see if it remembered me. Rob. It didn't. Sometimes it remembers you. It makes it easier. I'm just going to go in here and grab it again like that. Right. It's barfing at me a little bit. Right. I'm going to go in here and click on my inbox. A little slow. And then I'm going to go back to my forward. And that didn't work. But as you see, I can click on another one, click copy, don't act up today, and hit paste. All right, perfect. And then hit send. So now you could see I'm sending emails, right? And I'm hitting sync. And I'm going here to my free email accounts. My computer just slightly slow. I have a lot of browsers open. And boom, you can hear that. Now look at this. This is my free email account. Nothing has come through. I'm in sync and I'm still waiting. What if this was an important proposal, right? So this creates some challenges versus I got a free email. Look at that. Boom. Emails already came through. Emails came through. Right. So I got my emails. I might even check my junk, make sure there's nothing in my junk. Right. And look at some challenges there. Like I sent it from my Outlook, email came. I sent it from this, email hasn't even gone out yet. So this is the beauty, the purpose of why you're using a paid email account. These free email accounts could create some challenges. I've even had issues with the free, right here. This is my free Microsoft Outlook account. It's free and it has some challenges. It'll start working. Some days it won't work. But when I'm having my paid Office 365, always works. Never an issue. Never a problem. Things are working, right? I'm able to send large files. I'm able to do a lot of things, create a lot of automation. So that's the beauty and power of working with your email account. You can also click here to kind of see your calendar and click off. There's a lot more capabilities and features here in the edit and so forth, which I'll cover in a more deeper deal. We'll get to the more depth and talk about that. Now let's move to calendars, right? So with calendars, this becomes the heart of everything, especially for me I'm working with. So usually you're on your work week. So you'll have your work week calendar here. You can see you'll have your calendar, and you can see in my calendar I created my lunch. I got this. I can create reoccurring meetings. Let's say I want to create a reoccurring meeting right here. I'll go into here. I'll say custom. I'm going to do 5 days a week. I could push this out till like the 14th. I'll hit save. Boom. I'll make it an hour long. Maybe I'll make it an hour and a half long, and then hit save, right? And then voila. My new event was created. I can go in here and change the color to red. Now everything is red. So same thing I did with these for dinner, lunch, filming. I can go back in here and say, nah, I don't like this. I'll go back here. I can choose edit just this individual occurrence, or I can edit this series. Let's try the occurrence. I can say, I want this to be longer. And then I hit save. Look at that. That one changed, right? I can go back in here. I can go to series. And I could discard what I just did. But I can go back in the series and make some updates and make some changes. Give it a title. I'm going to say, team meeting. It's my weekly team meeting, my daily stand-up. Daily team meeting. And hit save. Now everything has changed, right? So that's the beauty of it. This is a powerful tool. I could use multiple different calendars. So if I scroll over here, I can show you my calendar. And look, I can move my mouse over here and just move this up so to show all my calendars. If not, I can move it down. I can show more of my calendars here. I want to see 3 months out, kind of see what I'm planning, what's going on, what holidays are in place. I can go in here and I can say, show me my calendar for him or not, or remove it. Add it or remove it, right? I can go in here, show me this calendar, add it or remove it. Or show me birthdays, show me this. Right? So I can combine calendars. I can bring calendars together. I can do some really cool things with calendars, right? So I really encourage you, use your calendar, and then your calendar all automatically updates into this environment where you can see like, what am I doing on here to update? What if I do on the other side will update, right? Now, I'm not going to cover this in depth, but I do want to talk about this. The power of shared users. Shared users are powerful. So you can see here, I go back into shared users and go to my share mailbox, right? And I created these shared users here, right? So shared users are created. I have access here, and I could possibly grab this. Now, this is probably not going to work because I have too many accounts and it's been barfing on me. But I can go back in here and go to my tools, right? And add a user, right? And go in here and say, I want to find that user. What user? Customer support. So you see right there, I have access. And just hit add. Click on the user, click add, error account. Now I'm having an error because I have too many. Right? There's a limit. If you have too many, it starts doing some weird stuff. So, and I have a lot, but you can see here, I've already added, I got a sample of a user right here, same way I added for my main account. And you can see here, we have a shared email account. So we're all able to share the email, all able to collaborate, all able to talk about what's going on. If I'm sleeping and my business partner needs to reset a password, he can do it and he can see the email. If I have an account that's called a legal, so if there's legal paperwork coming through, it all goes to the legal email account, to that folder. Everything is stored there, also stored to the SharePoint site, which makes it very usable, very friendly. So this is really, really powerful, right? So shared emails is a lot more. I'm going to spend a lot more time digging into shared emails. Its power, why it's vital to use shared emails. That's one of the biggest value points of Office 365 using Outlook. Shared emails allows you to do some really cool things. And it's free, comes native with the product. So you can just create like 5,000 shared emails here and just do some cool stuff with it. All right, moving on to the last area, and that's going to cover this web app. Now, we did just cover this. I'm just going to cover that really quickly at a high level. You're able to do the same thing when you first log in. Here, you'll click on this wafer tool and then go here and click on Outlook, and then this will come up. And then you're able to see all the emails that I've been sending and receiving to myself, right? Also, if I wanted to add a shared email, I can go to shared emails, and then I remember I put in customer support right there, and then boom, there goes customer support, and I just click add, and then voila, look at that, just drop customer support in there. Look at that. I'm able to see all the emails going to customer support onto this web app, right? So if I wanted to get rid of it, I could just right click and say remove the shared email box, boom, it's gone. So this is a really good way if you don't have access to your Outlook, right? You could actually just log into the web app and manage your account. You want to get here in an emergency, you can come in here and do things, do the same things. You could create all your rules. You have a lot of flexibility in here. You can do some automation. You can go to settings and do some configurations, junk email and so forth. So there's just a lot of flexibility here. Same thing with calendar in general, mobile devices and so forth. But there's just a lot of flexibility with the web app as a nice feature. One thing I do want to leave with you is that if you are going to use a Microsoft Outlook, I know on our phones we use the standard email client that's on your iPhone. So if you're an iPhone user, just use your standard email client. Also, if you're an Android user, there's a standard email client. That little email box at the bottom right corner or somewhere in your panel. But I do encourage you to go into App Exchange and type in Microsoft Outlook and download the Outlook app and then set it up that way, or just set it up in both places, because with the Outlook app, you're going to get a lot more capability, a lot more features, and a lot more flexibility from what I've seen, right? So, and it's a little bit more sleeker and a little bit more smooth. So that's it. All I have to cover today. If you have any questions, by all means, provide it in the chat. And thank you so much for allowing me to walk you through Microsoft Outlook today. I look forward to connecting and meeting you in future videos. Thank you so much for your time. All right, bye.